So today I had this dream, and I wasn't going to post it because I know it was personal. God gives me dreams like this that are just for me. But then I decided to post it for somebody else, and I'm going to talk about another vision that I had a couple of weeks ago. So in this dream felt so real. I thought it was really happening in real life. And in the dream, I was asleep in the dream, and I woke up to somebody. I woke up in the dream to somebody. One of my neighbors was cutting my grass, and it felt so real because in real life, because I used to be in a wheelchair, so I have a bad, you know, on and off bad back, and sometimes I have to go back, and walk with a cane, and I'll be in need of a wheelchair sometimes. I go on and off. I used to have handicap parking, but anyway. So cutting the grass is is difficult, and I used to pay somebody to do it, but I can't afford it. And sometimes my neighbors in real life, they come over and they cut my grass. So in this dream, um, somebody was cutting my grass and it woke me up. And so I didn't look outside. I was going to look outside, but then I just started walking, and in the dream it reminded me how sad I was. Like, I can't afford to get my grass cut, and I stay on the corner a lot too, so I have a lot of grass. So I was like, I cannot afford to get my grass cut. So I started walking towards the kitchen, and I went in the kitchen, and I just fell out on the floor and grieving, like just crying out to God in this dream. And I'm telling you guys, this dream felt so real. And I'm just crying and crying out to God. And I said, God, I don't want to be homeless. I don't want my daughter to be homeless. What are we going to do? And I'm just like, God, reminding him I'm 2 months behind on the mortgage. What am I going to do? And I'm just crying and telling him these things. And all of a sudden, in the dream, this dream felt so real. I thought it was real. In the dream, he gave me a vision. So I was asleep in the dream, woke up in the dream, then I ended up having a vision in the dream. And in the vision, he showed me this. It was a mansion, but I didn't see the mansion. I knew I was inside of a mansion. And I saw this beautiful golden fireplace. I mean, oh my goodness. I know it sounds, I cannot express how beautiful this fireplace was. It looked like it was pure gold, and the floor around it was gold as well. But it was like, and I've been to heaven before. The streets in heaven, I've walked the streets of heaven, and they are like solid gold. There's no pattern to it. It's just solid gold. But the gold in this mansion on the floor part was like checkers. Like it was shaped like checkers. But it was like all gold but in checkers. I mean, it's hard to explain. I can't explain it. But he just showed me this beautiful, beautiful golden fireplace. And to the left of this fireplace was an eating area. And Jesus was sitting at the table. And he was basically just telling me that, he has, what he has for me. So like I said, I wasn't going to post this because it's personal, but I want somebody else to be encouraged that's going through what I'm going through. God knows what we're going through. And I want to include another dream, but let me say this first. Lazarus, the Bible talks about Lazarus and how God was close to them. They were friends of his. His sister is the one who washed Jesus' feet with that expensive perfume. Yet her brother ends up dying of like starvation. Okay, and so he was poor. She using this expensive perfume on Jesus' feet, but they were really poor. And it talks about how this man who was really rich would not even let Lazarus eat the crumbs from his table, and yet that man ended up in hell, and Lazarus is in heaven, and he's asking Lazarus for some water. Okay, I'm not going to say the whole story, but the point is Lazarus was a man of God. He ended up going to heaven. So once again, that myth about if you don't have no money, then you can't be of God, that's a myth. That's not true. And, I could go on and on. I know many examples like that, but I don't want the video to be too long. But definitely, the saints of God, we go through things. And so anyway, let me get into the other vision that I had. So a couple of weeks ago, I felt God asking me, what did I want to see? What kind of vision did I dream or whatever did I want to have? And most of the time I say, give me something for the people. But this time I said, Jesus, I really want to see you. I really want to see you. So I don't know how long it was after that. I think it was days. I'm pretty sure it was days after that. And I was in my my living room, and I was sitting on the chair, and all of a sudden I saw this vision, and this vision lasted a while. I mean, like, I was in this vision for at least 5 minutes, I want to say. And 5 minutes is a long time to be in a vision. So I'm in this vision, and I'm sitting with Jesus, and we're sitting overlooking this beautiful kingdom. And it was like all golden buildings, and it had, where we were sitting at had these white pillars on both sides of us. And we were sitting in between these white pillars. And this beautiful kingdom was like all gold, and it has some like white pillars and, white stuff like that, like pillars. And we was overlooking this, oh man, it was so beautiful. And we was overlooking it from above, sitting down. And I just asked Jesus, I said, can I lean on you? And he said, yes, you can lean on me. And I leaned on his shoulder, and he took his arm and held me. So, he loves me, and he's let me know that over and over. Okay, so I just thank God for these things. And, I just want to encourage somebody, God knows what you're going through, and he has you. And, I just want to remind everybody that God is wanting to bring us together. You guys, I am a recluse. I don't like to come together. I don't. It's not my thing at all. And I think that is why. And I do have my own Bible study that I do every week. I have one this Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. I discuss the end times. It's through Facebook messaging. If anybody wants to join this week, I plan to talk about the 3 days of darkness and point that out biblically. So I have my my Bible studies every week, and then I also have my YouTube ministry. I have a Facebook ministry. I also have a women's group on Facebook messaging. I have another group that's men and women. So I have tons of friends. I have people that call me all the time, and I minister a lot. I would say probably every single day of my life I'm ministering to somebody. But if it's, in terms of coming together, I'm a recluse, you guys. It's not, if it's something that if you tell me to do something that, if God tells me to do something to lead people to Christ, to help people, yes, I'll be all over that. But when God is telling me to come together with the believers, it's like he has to tell me that, because it's not something that I care at all to do. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love you, but it's just, I'm more driven towards leading souls to Christ. But this is something that God wants us to do. So I have to remind you once again, we need to put our differences aside. We will not always agree. I just saw a brother's video. He was condemning doing the feast, okay? I'm not going to agree with that, because definitely God has led me to do his feast. And then I saw, when I was in New Jerusalem, I saw people were still doing these ritualistic things. They were still doing them. I saw that. So I'm not going to agree with that. And I love this brother. I'm not going to say his name. I love him to pieces, but we ain't going to agree. And, I can still love him, and we can get along great without agreeing. And we need to get to that point. You know, I saw another sister. I'm not going to point out these things, but people put these videos together and I don't agree with them. But that's not going to make me, you know, I'm not going to unsubscribe from her, and I'm not going to diss her on her video, which I did not. And I'm not going to come out and condemn her. You know, we don't get along. We don't, I mean, not get along. We should get along, but we don't agree. And I'm not worried about that, because in the new world, I'm going to tell you guys, and this is to encourage you, I saw we was 100% on accord. We was walking in complete unity. And I encourage every believer to go see that video. If you go, you know, a lot of these people that we strongly disagree with they're on their way to heaven.